here with Tom Sherman on the on the drive. Ty is we're talking grippy and glued surfaces. Do you think the manufacturers are pushing towards that narrative by the cars they are designing? Like, you know, trying to get other tracks to follow suit with the glued, grippy surfaces?
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually doing that or not with the cars, but the cars seem more and more carpet-esque as we go along.
Right.
So I don't know if the car manufacturers are actually doing it. I think maybe some of the tire manufacturers are pushing that direction.
Right.
It'd make their life a lot easier if they knew they were going to a track and this tire was going to work and they weren't going to have to struggle with chasing grip with a tire. So I know they would like that.
Right.
But I don't know. I think the manufacturers are pushing. Their cars are getting more like a carpet car, I think, than a outdoor dirt car.
Right. To the point that where we probably couldn't go back to outdoor racing.
Well, I mean, we can, but
it'd be a glued track
cars won't perform like they used to.
Right. It'd be like a glue track or a sugar track.
Yeah.
What you think about the glue tracks?
I mean, I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not opposed to them, but that was part of the fun. It was you had like this weekend. I may be racing indoors on a sealed dirt track.
Mm-hmm.
Next weekend I might be going, outdoors to an outdoor track, which, that potential was there down here in Florida.
Right.
I like the variety, I like, writing down my setup, seeing what I did at this track,
mm-hmm.
And then going to a different track and it's like, ooh, I did this at that track. I better make sure my car's set up that way for that track. And that was the fun of it.
Right.
And that's how, your Mayfields and Ronas and Paul Wynn and Alan Horn and
mm-hmm.
Dunbar.
Yep.
Who else is still racing? J.R. Mitch.
Yep.
That's how a lot of those guys learned how to set up cars so damn good.
Right.
Because they were setting up cars outside.
Right.
And an outdoor track can change so much. It could be hooked up like no tomorrow in the morning, and then as it dries out during the day, get a little bit looser, and then in the evening when the lights come on, the moisture comes back out, the track hooks back up again.
Right.
So you're chasing your car a little bit, but that because you raced outside, you knew what the track was going to do. So you adjusted, between the rounds or whatever. But
right.
I just like that variety. I think you learn how to set up a car so much better.
Go ahead.
I see it down here. You got guys that run just strictly carpet.
Right.
Nothing else.
Right.
And then they decide to go to maybe an indoor dirt track, or maybe they go outside.
Mm-hmm.
And they just struggle because they don't know how to set up a car for a loose condition.
Right.
And vice versa. Guys go to carpet. Like I go to carpet and struggle a little bit.
Right.
Because the car too hooked up, I need to free it up. And I just struggle with that mindset, trying to take grip out of a car. It's just not natural.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of tracks, y'all got one coming. Any word on the one in, I think it's what, West Chapel or something like that?
Yeah, Wesley Chapel. I think the grand opening is this weekend for the hobby shop.
Okay.
I think they said 5 to 7 more weeks before the track will be done.
Okay.
So probably we're looking at April, maybe middle, end of April before the track's ready.
So you race Hoosiers, right?
Yep.
What'd you think of Hoosiers?
And it was awesome, dude. That was a race I'd been wanting to go to for a couple of years.
Yes.
And I'd met the owner at Nationals and the Nats warm-up race last year. Became friends with him, and he just thoroughly convinced me to go, and I'm glad I went, man. It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Traction for days.
I talked to Brian Dunbar, and he kind of asked me the same question, and I was just like, man, that's the spot. That is the spot. Like,
yeah, and their local scene is fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, your old Speed RC days. And,
yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the old days down in Florida when you had so many fast guys down here and in California. And Hot Shots in Atlanta, we had a lot of fast guys that were running there at the time.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of those fast guys up there, but now they're all running 8 scale.
Did I tell you who told me about Hoosiers?
Who's that?
Tom Postwaite.
The postman.
He told me, he said, he goes, if you want to get faster and you want to learn car setup and what your car is doing and every little change, he says you need to be at Hoosiers. And he says also, if you break apart, I guarantee you she's got it in that hobby store.
Not if you're an X-ray driver.
He says she's got the hard to find parts, but excluding the X-ray, but
yeah, I mean, you were there. You saw the hobby shop. They got a ton of stuff in there, and it is an awesome hobby shop.
Oh. So, Tom Postwaite told me that, I think 2 years ago at Masters of Dirt, and he's like, the track doesn't change. He's like, you can make a small change and go out there, and you can feel it. And he's like, by that way, you're learning. He's like, some of these other tracks, you make a change, and the track is changing as you're making a change, and you're not really learning it, And he's like, Hoosiers, he goes, Hoosiers is this spot. And then I went there, and Tom, it was like, I don't know, it was something unreal.
Yeah, that track, it was pretty consistent throughout the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, we were there, 4 days?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, the track might have freed up a little bit, but, between rounds, he went out and glued it again.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we had the drop-off like they had the year before, where I think they were just gluing it overnight.
Right.
He glued it between rounds, which I thought was pretty cool.
His track prep was like no other, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, you walk on that track and pulls your shoes off your feet.
Well, the other thing I was wanting to comment on is I met some of the locals, and the locals were positive and happy.
Oh, yeah, there wasn't any really angry people the whole weekend.
No, like the locals were positive, happy, and getting faster. It wasn't no negativity out of the locals.
No, it was pretty cool, man. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just that whole scene. They got a really good thing going there. I hope they continue to grow and improve. And yeah, that track. I mean, God, I wish I lived there.
Yes. Yeah. Walk to Taco Bell. Walk to McDonald's across the street. Like it's
Domino's.
Across the street. Yeah. Yeah.
And it wasn't really a sketchy neighborhood either, so it was pretty...
Yeah. Like
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about that.
yeah, like you walked to McDonald's, you wasn't afraid you was gonna get robbed.
Exactly.
uh, Plenty of parking.
Oh yeah, parking is good.
Yeah. But yeah, just that track is, man. I like. What's crazy is like, I mean, I didn't get to run on it, but I'm sitting there watching and I'm just like, man, I messed up.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
I'm sitting there thinking, man, this
I'm just saying. Yeah, you did.
Yokomo truck would have been pretty good out here.
Yeah,
Man,
they would have had a good time.
yeah. Uh, so, do you think other tracks could learn from Hoosiers?
Oh, I'm sure they could, but do they have the finances to do anything about it? You know, that's the key. You know,
Right.
and yeah, I was watching him after that first day of practice, and they shut practice down, and we're picking up all our stuff, getting ready to leave, and I mean, he's just soaking the track. I'm thinking, ooh, this may not be good for tomorrow, because I've seen other tracks, just soak their tracks, and hell, in the morning you still got water puddles on it.
Yeah.
But even with that glue on there, they soak the track, come in the next morning, and that track sucked the shoes right off your feet again.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I did see was he soaked the track, and when we came in the next day, there were still puddles, but his locals got out there and helped him dry the track, like, put towels down in the puddles and blow some areas off with the leaf blowers and stuff like that. His locals jumped up and helped,
Yeah, that's really good that he has that support from the local crowd. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of alleviates a lot of issues when you have locals that are willing to jump in and help out.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of follow your guidance and your direction and run with it.
Yeah. And two, what tires did y'all end up on? I know the silvers. Did y'all try the J Concept stiff?
Yeah, we had the firm sidewalls on.
Okay.
And I was happy with the tire.
What about foams? Did y'all run the foams that came with it, or did y'all switch your foams out?
We stayed with the kit foams. We didn't switch.
Okay.
But we still ran the gray foams.
Right.
I had some RM2 foams with me to try, but talking with some guys, a lot of our team was still running the gray inserts, those kit insert that come with the tire.
Right. Did y'all run a fresh set all the time, or no?
No, I think we were running stock, so I think I went through a total of 4 sets of tires.
Because I was thinking some people were putting on fresh sets every time they went out.
I know. I watched the guys glue up a lot of tires.
Yeah. I mean, the track had that much traction, so why would you need a fresh set,
Yeah, I honestly don't know why they did it, unless it was just for consistency, so their car was consistent, the same every time they went out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we ran 1 set in practice and then scuffed in 2 more sets in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the last qualifier, I ran my last set, scuffing it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good, but, I'm slow and buggy, so it didn't really matter. It didn't help me one way or the other. I was just scuffing that set in for the main and go out and do what I do in the main, and that was about it.
Right.
Which I didn't do anything in the main.
Right. In your two wheel, what shock wheels and pistons did y'all end up on in the 24 car?
Oh, I think that was on 1918 Pistons in the back,
Mm-hmm.
2 holes
Mm-hmm.
with gray associated springs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was running 400 weight in the rear. And then I was running 1/8 Pistons in the front on gray springs with, I think I had 500 weight oil in the front. I'd have to go back and look. Pretty sure I had 500 weight oil in the front.
Did you run the 2.5 pistons, the thick ones?
No, we ran the thin ones.
Okay.
Ran the thin piston. Now, Justin might have switched to the 2.5s. I can't remember. I know we did some changes to his shocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if he went with the 2.5s, the thicker piston, but I ran the thin ones.
So thin pistons, is that the 2.0s now, or is y'all go thinner?
No, they're 2 mil.
Okay. Oh, what'd y'all think about the new cars? Y'all.
So far, good.
Okay.
I like the way it steers.
Hmm.
We did go with the +3 plate on the front for a little smoother turn in, but overall, the car handled really well. Back in the new shocks and everything, car just seemed to jump and land so much better now with that bigger shock on there.
So let me ask you this, Tom. New kits, before they used to come out right before Christmas so you can buy them, right?
Yeah.
Now the only kit that comes out, I guess, right before Christmas or whatnot is the X-ray kit, but you got the new kits now, and it's like they're pushing them back to where they're announcing them, but they're pushing them back to be released. So like the B7, the Mugen's supposed to be released here in February. Why do you think they're pushing dates back?
That's a damn good question.
Cars are not ready, you think, or?
I honestly do not know why they do that. Cars may not be ready. Production may not be a point where they can release it. Is the only thing I can think of. Just the production isn't there yet. In time for Christmas or whatever.
Right. And then, don't you think the manufacturer should give the hobby stores a heads up that they're coming out with something new?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Me and you've been over this.
We haven't been over it on the drive, but
it's
like X-ray, it's coming out for new kit. So,
well, yeah, that's going to happen.
Right.
But I think manufacturers, they know what they're doing. They know at the beginning of each year they're going to come out with an updated car.
Right.
So they scale their production to where they don't overproduce.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing that for years now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their business model. They know how it works. They know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
With production numbers. But the other companies, Mayfield hit on it. The guys are.
Oh yeah, we did.
They're producing millions of dollars worth of product, and they're not going to come out with a new car when they still got millions of dollars worth of product still sitting on the shelf.
Right. Dang, I forgot we had this conversation. My bad. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Just kind of put yourself in the hobby store's perspective, But yeah.
Yeah. It sucks for them, especially if they just put in a big order for, like the B64. Maybe they just put in a big order for parts.
Right.
Maybe some kits and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Associated, I don't think they've released the B7 yet, have they?
Yeah, they already taken pre-orders and.
But I mean, it's not out. I can't go to the store and buy one.
Not yet.
So
only select people so far.
So they're gonna. I mean, they're still gonna be selling the B64 to people.
Right.
You know, they're still gonna be selling parts. Guys aren't. You know, there's a lot of people are like, well, hell, I can't afford to go out and buy a new. I can't afford to go out and buy a new kit.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll keep running my B64 or whatever.
Right.
You know, and you can still get parts for them, and everybody's happy. I don't know where my 8-scale tools are.
Something else we talked about earlier was I know you haven't gotten one yet or anything. That was the Team Exalt Lipo warmer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you get to hold one, or did you get to pick one up, or?
Yeah, I've seen one. I've touched it.
Okay. What did you think?
Oh, it felt so good. No, I think it's cool. You know, I mean, anybody that has, you know, knows anything about batteries are more efficient when they're warmer. So, you know, if you can get your battery up to a higher than room temperature, you know, your battery's going to be more efficient. And I believe less resistance in that in that battery.
Right.
But now there's a lot of races we go to where they take you're going through tech, they're taking your battery. Right. Your battery can't be, it's got to be within so many degrees of ambient temperature.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just the voltage.
No, there's, Roar used to temp check your battery.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but that would come from, stock guys hammering their batteries. They charge and discharge them at 30 amps 2 or 3 times right before they go out to run. And, hell, that battery would be 100 degrees going out to the track.
Right.
And I think they got wise to all that and started temping batteries. But I've only seen that at like a Roar race.
Right.
But I didn't see them temping batteries at nationals. I never.
No.
For National Hobbytown, I didn't see them temping batteries.
Nah, I didn't either. Hey, sorry the video took so long. That's just me and Tom talking on the drive. I think this is drive 6. But yeah, we just talked about, just our 2 cents on glued sealed tracks and Lipo batteries and new kits and stuff like that. But the main topic was like the glued sealed tracks, and are they pushing that narrative, and are the manufacturers and the tracks are pushing that kind of on us with the kits being built. And so where you go to a race, is kind of track owners kind of feel obligated to glue seal the track. But anyway, that was just our 2 cents on it. Just something to put on in the background as you drive to work or come home from work or wrench and whatnot. But anyway, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, thumbs up, share. Just a little small channel, just like y'all, just regular guy. And that leads me to the other was, if you ever see me at the track or out and about, just come up to me, say what's up. I'm just like everybody else. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. It means a lot. See you soon.